I'm Gregory Morgan. Let me go ahead and take some calls. Hello, this is Gregory, and you are live on the air.
Hi, Gregory. This is Nina. I am calling from northeast United States.
Good.
I have a question actually for you, which is about relationships and love. I am a 6-year-old woman. I was married many years ago. I actually got married when I was about 20 years.
Did you say you're 36?
Now I'm 30.
Yeah. And you got married when you were about 20?
Yes.
Okay.
When I was about 20, it was a very wrong decision. And
well, it was the right decision at that time.
Yes, I thought immediately. It took time just for 1, 2, 3 days. And
what took 1, 2, or 3 days?
Yeah, actually, I got married today, and the marriage broke down on the third day after.
So 3 days after you were married, your marriage broke down?
Yes. It was because I realized at that time that my husband was so sick and he was taking medications, and neither himself nor the family told us, and they were thinking that he will get better if he gets married, but he was totally unable of even getting related with me at physical level.
So after 3 days, you both separated and went your separate ways and got a divorce?
Yes.
Okay, so you were married for 3 days.
Yes.
That's kind of like a weekend date. Okay.
Yes, it was very
with papers, right? With paperwork. So I don't really call that a marriage so much, but okay. So then you never had a relationship since then?
No, after that, I never had that. I continued my studies. I finishing my doctoral program now.
Okay, so what's your question? I need you to like get to the question. Somebody that you met at a conference said, I have some nondescript person that would like to meet you.
Yes.
Male or female, because she didn't use a masculine or feminine noun. And so what's your question?
My question is that for a long time I haven't been in any relationship. I just need advice to know that what I should do, how should I respond.
You want to be the female in the relationship, right? The answer is yes.
Yes.
It's not a trick question. And you want him to be the male in the relationship, right?
Yes.
Good. The male should pursue the female. Females should not pursue males.
Okay.
Okay? Masculine energy, masculine essence, whether it's in a female or we both have masculine and feminine energy within us, right? Your masculine energy is what got you in the PhD program, and regardless of what it is you're studying, when you're being in that frame of mind, you're being in your masculine side.
Yes.
Right? You're going out, you're competing, you're inquiring, you're conquering, you're investigating. That's a masculine type of activity.
Yes.
Okay. Of course, females do masculine activities and males do feminine activities. So what I'm trying to say is that we have both, right?
Yes.
Okay. The feminine is receptive and attractive, right? So
Yes.
that's why they look good. You guys come with all this beautiful equipment, and you look good, you smell good, you feel good. So it's very attracting to a masculine energy, you see?
Yes.
Masculine energy wants to go towards that. Now, a lot of men have become very feminine, and so they give their phone number or their contact information to the female, to the feminine one, and then say, why don't you call me? In other words, why don't you pursue me? You be the masculine one and come after me. That's kind of what a lot of men do these days. It's not very masculine because there's no risk involved. You see, it's called risk diversion. They take the risk away from themselves and put it over there on you.
Yes.
You call me, and then I will either answer the phone or not, I'll answer the email or not, and I will give you a pass or no pass based on how efficiently you pursue me. That's all the conversation. We call it the meta conversation. Meta meaning beyond, right? And so there's a conversation that goes on in the unspoken between men and women all the time. And so the feminine conversation that you would want to have with him is, I would be glad to see you when you come my way.
Exactly.
Right? And so any conversation that you have with him, whether it be by email or whatever, you want to be the attractive one. You want to be a magnetic one, the one that is being pursued. If a man doesn't have enough masculinity, we'll say, to follow you up, to pursue you, to at least inquire and investigate, and if he's interested, then get off the couch and get on an airplane and fly over and see you, right?
Yes.
If he doesn't have enough wherewithal to do that, he doesn't have enough wherewithal to stay in a relationship, in a long-term committed relationship with a female anyhow, because no matter how much masculinity you have, staying in a long-term committed relationship with a female, with a feminine being, can be challenging and difficult for any man. And so it takes a certain wherewithal to be able to stand, to stay there. Do you know what I mean? To not only just, anybody can get interested in a relationship. You know, if you look good, smell good, feel good, somebody's going to be interested, right? But to stay in a relationship takes a certain type of commitment, and that commitment, when it comes to men, that commitment is something that has to be shown over time.
You know, the point is that because I go actually in Boston, and because sometimes I go for lecture to Boston, he asked me that I am wondering if you come to Boston and if you come, when you come.
Okay, well, there's nothing wrong with answering that question.
So I answered. I said that this time of October I will be there. Then he said that I will definitely come to meet you because I'm this part of the city and I will come to that part. I will come to meet you. And I said, okay. At the end, he said that this day of October I should also go for a lecture. And he said that we will see at what station of crisis I will be. He said that, and I responded him in an email that...
At what state of crisis?
Yes.
What does
kind
that
of
mean?
like that, it's giving me this impression that I have a lecture the day after, and I'm so busy. I heard from that sentence this. So I responded this way, that if you think that, if you that anything is going to be escaping to this area of the city that I will be, it's going to disrupt your plans seriously. So I think that we should meet later. And that's it.
Okay, fine.
After me. I just want
Do you
to
just
make
want to
sure
be,
that
here's what I would like here's my advice to you, since it seems that since you haven't been in a relationship for 16 years and you seem like your relationship skills might need a little tuning up, and you'll get that from the Girl Talk book and from the 12 Stages of Romantic Relationship. That's exactly what I made that CD for, was so that people could begin to see what stage their relationship is in. Right now, you're in the very, very first stages called flirting. Have you ever even physically seen the guy?
No. I didn't meet him, but I saw his photo.
So, yeah, but you've never looked in his eyes while he was looking at yours.
Yes. No.
Okay. That's going to be a whole new experience, and you want to do that when you're with him, like give him a chance to see your eyes and you see his eyes, because listen, we're primordial beings. We've been around, this central nervous system and brainstem that we have has been around for a while. And we have the ability to see many, many layers of things when we look in each other's eyes. That's why a lot of people don't look in each other's eyes. They don't want to be seen. And they can't bear the power that it takes to into another person's eyes and see them, like really see them. Did you see the film Avatar?
Yes.
You know how they say, I see you? It was something that they said in the film a lot, where they said they would see each other. The girl demanded that her father she said, see me. It was their way of saying, look into me, see me.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Right? See me for who I am. See that I'm telling the truth, you know?
And I understand.
See what's in my heart. People don't do that.
Mm.
They don't show who they are to somebody else and allow somebody else to see them, and they don't look deeply into another. So if you want to be spending time with somebody, I wouldn't waste a lot of time without looking into them and see if this is something that might be a match. I mean, you don't want to scare the guy off or anything, but at the same time, have you got anything to hide? You know, you don't want to scare the man away, but at the same time, you don't have anything to hide.
Sure, yes.
Right?
Exactly.
So that's it. Just spend some time with him, but actually, you'll see when you get the 12 stages of romantic relationship, the very first stage is flirting. So you're in the flirting stage. And in flirting, there is an innocent exchange of sensual energy. It's innocent, you know, you're like going to bed with them, but there's a flirting that is taking place. And then in the 12 stages, I talk about something called intentional flirting, where you literally, if you decide, oh, I like this person and this is a person for me, you let them know. And you let them know with your eyes and with your body and with your posture, but you let the person know, I like you, I've checked you out, I'm available, right? And I'm friendly, you know, I'm approachable.
I understand.
Right?
This conversation, you see this stage mainly from this conversation that I explained to you, I described to you, or because I said that.
No, I'm saying you've never had that experience with this man, and maybe with a lot of men, ever.
Exactly. No, yeah. I didn't have.
You never had this experience with a man, and so it could be terrifying for you, but it can also be extremely liberating.
Yeah, it's not terrifying for me.
It's not? Good. That's because you've matured now. All right? There's, you know, it's like owning your womanhood and just like really looking at a man and like sizing him up, checking him out. You know? You're going to do that anyhow. You might as well do it in his face. Right?
Yes.
You might as well check him out. Like, let him know, I see you.
Right.
Right? I see you. Because I tell you what, if men get to a certain age, there's a certain period and some men never grow out of this adolescent period where they just want to go from woman to woman and have these shallow experiences, shallow sexual experiences. Mm. There's a certain part of us that are programmed to do that. Okay? Men are sort of programmed to inseminate as many seeds as possible before they die. It's like a primordial programming, okay?
Okay.
And so whatever like looks good, smells good, feels good, has the right shape, we like, oh, let's go there, right? So men have that. It's kind of a spontaneous thing, but you're supposed to grow out of that at some point. You're supposed to be able to go, okay, great, that's a beautiful woman. I can appreciate that. And I want a woman that I can share my life with, that I could protect and provide and love and cherish and who will always be there and be part of my life and that we can share and build a life together. That is a stage of maturity. And like I said, a lot of times these days, men aren't even getting to that stage, okay? Because everything's pulling for being an adolescent all the time. But when a man does get to that stage, he may continue to date 2 or 3 women because he's looking for the one, right?
Right.
And when a man knows that he has found the one, it's because he feels comfortable, he feels at home, he feels attracted. It doesn't even, it matters that she looks good. You know, it does matter that she's good looking because otherwise he may just look someplace else. But what really matters is how she makes him feel. If he's with her and he feels relaxed, happy, he feels good about himself. He feels like, I could do this. I could be successful around this woman. I could feel loved and I feel something for her. Then that is an indication that he may have found the one, you see? So you want to make him feel comfortable. You don't want to, but you also, if he's not the one for you and you know it right away, then don't play with him.
No. Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
I think that he's between 35 to 37. I'm not sure if this is the right question that I'm asking you or no, the way that I'm formulating it. But my question actually is that what are the characteristics of a man at this age, a mature man at this age, in relationship with a woman?
Well, the age says something, but not everything. Men go through stages, and around that age, they have usually, if they're maturing along a normal trajectory, if you say, is a way of saying it, a normal curve, then they will have gotten by 35, 36 to a stage where they have built something for themselves. Mm-hmm. Right? In the earlier years, we're just trying to get it together, and we're trying to become something or build a name for ourselves or put a little money aside or get established in a business or a career of some kind, so that we can have some extra savings, time, money, energy to invest in a relationship. Relationships are expensive.
Right.
Relationships cost money and time and energy, and they cost a lot of it. Okay? It's not something you do flippantly, unless you want to do a flippant relationship. Date people temporarily and have shallow relationships, fine. Even those are expensive, but to invest in a relationship, you're talking about real estate and bank accounts and retirement accounts and children's college funds and pregnancies and mortgages and things like that, okay? Okay. So for a man to commit and say, I'm going to share all that with you, everything I got, and for the rest of my life, that's a big commitment, yes? So usually men need to be around 30-something in their mid to late 30s before they're even ready to consider that. They got to have something. If they're still going to college and paying off their college loans and, just trying to make sure they got the rent and the parents are helping them out and that kind of thing, they're just not qualified to be married. They're just not qualified. I may want, a very expensive car, but if I go in and my I don't have the credit score and the bank account for it, they won't even let me drive it. Right. Right? And you should be the same way. Correct. If they don't have the qualifications, they don't get to drive it. Pardon me? He is one of in terms of his education, he's one of the leading figures in neuroscience field in the United States. I love neuroscience. That's what I study that too. So that's awesome. Well, listen, anybody that would even be interested in neuroscience has probably got a pretty good head on their shoulders. And I wish you the best of luck with that. Just go flirt with him, but you be the attractive one and let him come towards you. If he's interested in you, he will come in your direction. And, if you're in Boston and that's where he lives or something, then there's no harm in saying, I'm going to be in Boston on this and that day. And, these are some time slots that I have available on this evening or that afternoon. I could be available. And then let him come to your side of town. Don't you go to him. This is a way of letting men know that you consider yourself a high value woman, a high value woman, that if he wants to have the pleasure and the honor of your company, that he needs to step up. Right. Right? When you go after them, you devalue yourself, and so he can't value you because you don't value yourself. Right. Okay? Okay. Thank you very much for your time and advices. Yeah. Really enjoyed it, and let me know how it goes. Helpful and make me more confident in my way. Good. Thank you for calling. All right. This is Gregory. You're live on the air. Thank you for holding. Hello? Yes. Hi. Did you've been holding for a while, yes?
Basically, I wanted to ask because I'm going to school, and I was wondering what to do. My major right now is undecided, but I'm in the biology/pharmacy range. But I want to know whether I should stay with that because, the courses are kind of hard, and I don't have as much fun as I did in high school. And it's going a little too fast, and I want to know whether I'm making the right decision. How old are you? Whether I should change it to something that I don't know what to do right now.
Well, how old are you?
19.
Okay. Well, listen, you're at a place where you're not a boy anymore and maybe not quite a man yet, okay? And so my advice to you, as one man to another, since you ask, is always reach for something that is outside of your comfort zone. Always reach for something that is bigger than you think you can do.
I see.
Okay?
Hey.
If you want to become a man and you want to be successful in life, then get used to being uncomfortable. Okay? But I don't mean that in a negative sense. Like, make it okay to be uncomfortable.
Oh.
See, when you're a baby or a little kid, everybody's always paying attention to making you be comfortable. They don't want you to cry. They don't want you to feel afraid. They don't want you to fall down or hurt yourself. That's for babies. That's for little kids, all right? That's so that you just don't kill yourself in the first 8 years of your life. You know, parents' jobs, for the most part, in the first few years of your life is just to keep you alive. Because kids are like, if you're like me, I stuck things in electric sockets. I pulled things off the stove on top of my head. You know, I don't know about you. I fell out of trees. I rode bicycles into the ditch. You know, parents are just trying to keep you comfortable and safe and alive for a while, okay, until you can take off on your own. But you're 19 now, okay? And technically you're an adult. However, there's some other phases of manhood that you're going to be facing, and I promise you, none of them are comfortable. If you want to be strong, you got to lift weights, right? If you want to be, is that comfortable? Lifting weights is not comfortable.
Yeah, no.
No, it hurts, and it's tiring, and it makes you sweat, and sometimes you drop them. Okay, if you want to be a great runner, you got to run, right?
Yeah.
And when you get tired, what do? You keep running. And when your muscles get sore, what do? You keep running.
You keep going.
Yeah, and that's uncomfortable, and that's how you get good at anything. So if your classes are kind of hard, great. Master them. Get really good at them.
Oh.
Okay? Dive into them and get really, really good at them. Be the best at them and excel. And this will have you grow, not only just, okay, you may or may not be a pharmacist at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
But you will have mastered the ability to control your mind and your behavior and your habits. You will have told the childish part of you that just wants to be comfortable and have fun and be a little kid some more. You will have told that one, okay, there'll be time for that later. Right now, I have to man up and get this schoolwork done. We'll go out and party later, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't want you to stop having fun in life, you know, but there's a part of being a man is knowing how to do what I call compartmentalize. There's a time for work, there's a time for play, there's a time for love, there's a time for taking care of others, and there may be there's times for stepping up to things that you're terrified and afraid of, you know, and all of that's part of being a mature man. A mature human being. Women go through those things too, but I'm talking to you specifically.
Okay.
Yeah?
If the going gets tough and stressful, I should just keep on going?
That's right. Like anything else that you want to be good at. If you're going to college, I doubt if you're paying for it. Somebody's probably paying for it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So they're investing in you. Give them their money's worth.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're investing in you. They're saying, here's a whole bunch of money, and we're going to keep giving you money until you can take off and fly on your own. But hey, give them what they paid for. They want to see, they want, of course they want to see good grades, but what they really, really want, I'll tell you what they really want. They really want to see you stand up and be a mature, happy, healthy, successful young man. That's what they really want more than anything in the world. And causing you to have an extra long childhood is not what they're paying for, right? I doubt if I talked to your mom or your dad and I said, what would you like to see at the end of 3 years of college? That he's like an older teenager, you know, a 23-year-old teenager, or that he stands up and is ready to go out into the world and do something for himself?
No, they don't want to see that. They
don't want to see you go out in the world?
No, they don't want me to be a kid. 23-year-old teenager.
Yeah, of course not. Nobody wants to see. Who wants to see a 20 or 3-year-old teenager? Think about it. You know some of them, right?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, if you look around, I know plenty of 23 or 24. I know 40-year-old teenagers. All right? You see them, they're dressed in like baggy shorts and tennis shoes and t-shirts, and they've lost their hair a long time ago, but they're still walking around acting and talking and dressing like a teenager. And mentally and emotionally, they're about that age. Yeah, I mean, growing up is no longer a necessity in our society.
Oh, interesting.
Well, it's not, is it? I mean, if you can get by just being childlike and you're mentally, emotionally, and socially for an extra decade or two, why not?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? There's no, I mean, when I was a kid, if you acted like that, you got straightened out because nobody would put up with it. Nobody would respect you. Nobody would give you a job. Nobody would pay attention to you. They just think it's a kid, it's a man that never grew up, and there was no respect in that. Now, now it's not like that, is it?
No.
You see, you just go to any shopping mall or baseball game or anything, you'll see full-grown men that are fathers that are still in their own childlike way. Yeah? So don't do that, all right? Don't do that. Give your parents what they're paying for. Do the hard thing.
Okay.
You had fun when you're in high school. That's over. Now it's college. And you can have fun in college. You know you're going to have fun in college, but when it's time to study, get that done.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
All right? You bet. Thanks for calling. I appreciate it. And here we go. Okay, here we are. You're live on the air.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Fine, thank you. I am without wanting, just it happens because being with somebody like at work, just fall in love, somebody who is already married.
Mm-hmm.
So, and nothing happened. I don't want to do anything, but I just don't know what to do now.
It's somebody that you see and are in physical proximity with every day?
Yes. Yeah. And I think he has the same feeling about me, but I know it's wrong. I always criticize women who entangle, and I haven't entangled with him, but it just happened it just happened.
Well, later, something happened. I understand. It's by the way, it's normal to have those kinds of feelings with people that you work with in close proximity, especially when you work together and you accomplish things together and you support each other and you talk on a daily basis and there's a kind of partnership. It's normal to have humor. And so out of all of that, a sense of affection begins to develop, and from that affection there can be, sensual or sexual feelings because there's a masculine and feminine energy there in the same room together. Okay, so I understand all of that, and there's if you made that wrong, you see, if that was wrong, then everybody's wrong. Do you see what I'm saying? Because that's going on all the time. Here's the difference. Some people allow themselves to indulge, if you will, in that feeling. In other words, they allow themselves to begin to fantasize about that. They allow themselves to have little flirtations that, while maybe nobody else sees it, you know what it is, and he knows what it is. And so this energy begins to pass between the two of you, and that will build and build unless you irrevocably make a decision that this will never be, and that you actually have some kind of a conversation, whether it's a physical one or an eye-to-eye one or a verbal one. I have seen these kind of things develop, and I have also seen somebody who I felt, who was a teacher for me, I watched him handle a situation like that one time, and it was masterful, I think. And I'm going to tell you how he did it. Now, you're a woman, I don't know how to translate that just yet, but I think it would be about the same. This person who had been flirting with him, and he was a married man, and she was not. And he was a married man, but she would always, she would sit in a chair in such a way to show a lot of leg or whatever. She would always be all bubbly around him, and it was just obvious that she was flirting with him and being coy and everything. He was always trying to, be nice, and be receptive and be, and of course she was very pretty. And so, of course he could look and so forth, but he didn't want to participate in this because it was dishonorable. So I saw him go to her one time. He didn't know that I was watching. And I happened to be sitting nearby at a desk, and I saw him go and have a private conversation with her, and it went something like this. He took her by the shoulders, and he looked her in the eye, and he says, "You know that thing that you're fantasizing about?" And she goes, "Oh, what are you talking about?" Right? Like she doesn't know. And he goes, "You know what I mean. Yeah, that. You know that thing that you fantasize about?" He said, "It's never going to happen. This is never going to happen. You got that? So cut it out. Stop doing that with me." Right? And that's it. It just handled that situation. It just took care of it. Right? Now, she kept on being however she was, but she knew and he knew it. And there was an agreement that went down in that moment where it got clean. He created a boundary. You see, we create boundaries with our words and our actions. And what you're participating in is stepping over boundaries. And once you kind of step over boundaries, it kind of feels good to step over them some more.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, it feels very good.
Yeah, it feels good, right?
Yes.
Once if you stop smoking and you have a cigarette, you go, "I'll have another," right? If you stop drinking, you have a drink, he's like, "I'll have another." And the same is true with this kind of thing. Once you start stepping over a boundary, it kind of feels good because you get away with something, and that's part of the thrill, is because you kind of get away with something that you're not supposed to be doing. And then, well, I could do that some more because nobody caught us, we didn't get noticed. And that's how affairs start. And that's how marriages get destroyed and lives get destroyed and children go without fathers and mothers. So the cost is enormous. And if it's at your job, is he your boss?
No.
Are you his boss?
No.
You guys are peers?
I don't want to go further because in case some other people here. But
I understand.
no,
but are you on a same level, or is one of you above the other?
I kind of he's a little bit above me, but he likes to pursue, and actually he pursue me a lot, and
yeah.
I really I'm very a strong woman, and I really didn't go there, but it's just he's pursuing, and he has, and I truly love him right now, but he wants me to talk, but I just don't know what to tell him.
If you really love him, by the definition that I use the term love, I don't mean infatuated by, sexually attracted to, turned on by. I mean, all of those could be a part of love. Those might be symptoms of love, but they might not. You can have all of that and not have love, okay? You could be totally turned on, excited, thrilled, happy to see all of that stuff, and there could be no love present, not real love. If you really love him, then you will require that he be honorable. If you love yourself, you would require a man to be honorable with you, and you would require him to be honorable with the people in his lives, like his wife and his children. He's not just cheating on them. He's not just cheating on them. He's cheating on you. Because, and what makes you think that a relationship with a man who's cheating on his wife would go anywhere?
Yeah.
Well, you're obviously a cheater because you're cheating his wife and kids, and he's obviously a cheater because he's cheating his wife and kids and everybody else that knows them and trusts them and is counting on him to be an honorable man. He's cheating all of them, right? Mm-hmm. And so you two cheaters want to go have a long-term committed relationship? Wait a minute. There's no commitment here. There's only attraction, you see. Don't mistake attraction for love. I'm attracted to a lot of things that I don't love, and they don't love me either, okay? So, you could be attracted to things that are not good for you.
Okay. So you think I just stop it? What should I do now?
Well, because look, you're the other woman, aren't you? And if anybody was going to
anything, I haven't touched him.
I know. You haven't done anything, but you have not done one thing, and that is let him know that this is inappropriate and it's never going to happen. I'm not going to lose my job. I'm not going to lose my self-respect. And I'm not going to have a relationship with a man who wants to cheat on his wife because I respect myself too much. I'm somebody for myself. I'm only available to men who are not married. I'm not available to married men. If you don't respect yourself enough to be able to tell yourself that, then you might as well start looking for another job because this one's going to end.
Tell him that or just cut?
Well, first tell yourself that. I just told you, but I don't think it's my words coming to you. Those have to be your own words in your own heart, something like that. Do you want to have a relationship with a married man?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to have your job threatened?
It's not my job.
Oh, okay. So I thought you said it was somebody you work with.
No.
Okay.
It's not at work, but I
Okay.
see him.
Okay. Okay. Do you want to have the opinion that the people in your community and your family would have if you broke up a marriage?
No, not really. I really hate that. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. And do you want to deal with a man who's going to have to give away half of his money and real estate and child support and all that stuff for the rest of his life?
I mean, I have enough money. I don't mind that.
Okay, so I understand. But do you understand that,
I know what you mean.
that he's going to be dealing... Does he have kids?
No.
He doesn't have kids, okay. How long has he been married to this woman?
10 years.
So he's married, man. I don't know why he didn't have kids, but he's married.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't, my advice to you and to all women, don't have anything to do with a man that is still married, even if he's separated, he's still married until the judge stamps the papers and says,
don't talk
you're
to him
divorced.
anymore. I mean,
Just tell him, look, there's been some flirtation going on here that I feel uncomfortable with, and you're married, and so I'm going to respect your wife and your marriage, and this little flirtation thing that we got going on here, that needs to stop.
Okay.
Because it's never going to go anywhere, and it's making me feel uncomfortable. And it's okay to say I care, but why do that? You could say I care too much about myself to allow this to go any further.
Okay.
Never mind about. I wouldn't even go into telling him how you care about him, because the truth is it's none of his business.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? I'm just speaking from my own experience. Okay. If I'm married. Okay.
Destroy him.
I'm married. Okay.
If
there was a woman that was in love with me, I'd want her to keep it to herself. If there was a woman who was in love with me, like in a romantic way, as a married man, I would want her to keep it to herself. Go tell her girlfriends or something, but don't tell me about it.
Okay.
Right? That would be the respectful thing to do. Right?
I just feel I'm going to destroy him because he has a strong feeling for me. Is it okay to destroy a man? I mean,
well, if you go have an affair with him, you're going to destroy him anyhow.
Okay.
And who's to say you're the only one he's doing that?
No, I'm never going to have it. I never.
And who's to say you're the only one he's doing this with?
I never sleep with a married man.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, who's to say you're the only one he does that with?
Oh, okay. That is right.
You don't know this.
That's true.
You don't know. He may have like girls all over town that he flirts with. A man that goes flirting along outside of his marriage, he may. There are such a thing as love and sex and love addicts. They're addicted to the pheromones and the adrenaline and the feelings of thrill that you get when you get away with something you're not supposed to do. They're addicted to that, and keeping secrets and having little interludes and intrigues. That's a very addicting way of life. I know. I've been there. Okay, it's a very addicting thing. Okay, so don't think don't mistake addiction for very deep feelings. Do you know what I mean? I'll destroy him. He has very deep feelings. We'll see, right?
Okay.
But I realize that this may be a bitter pill that I'm telling you. Like maybe it's not what you wanted to hear.
Not really.
Yeah, but you already knew the answer to this.
I know. Really. I know it doesn't feel good.
No,
I mean, as much as I love him, but it just doesn't feel right.
Love yourself first.
Okay, thanks.
Love yourself.
By the way,
love yourself enough
to
give yourself to have a relationship with a man that's available to you.
Yeah.
And then love him like with all your heart if you want. But loving a guy that you can never have without causing a huge mess for a lot of people, then
What do you think about a younger man than a woman? What's your? I just want to know what you think.
Depends on how much younger he is. It never works out. It always works out for the man, but it usually doesn't work out for the woman.
It doesn't.
Usually not. I don't think so. Just because men are attracted to younger women their whole life. Okay, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Women between the ages of 20 and 40 are the most attractive women to men. Okay, now women that get into their 50s and even their 60s now, they still continue to look like they're 30. So I mean that's happening, and that's great. So I'm finding that women. Older women are very, very attractive because they still look really awesome, and but they've matured, and so they're intelligent and warm and great, And so, so when women get older, they don't necessarily always continue to look young, but men will continue to look at young women.
Thanks so much for your time. Thanks so much.
Yep.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
We love you. Okay. Thank you very much.